Okay, so on today's video, I actually shot a video a few days ago and actually uploaded it to YouTube, but I hadn't released it yet. And I decided I was going to reshoot it because something happened between the time that I uploaded it and today. So today, I don't know if you could see behind me there, I have two Harbor Freight 12-ton presses that we're going to go over. Why do I have two? Well, the one that they had on the floor that's all assembled was actually the one I thought I was getting. I got a different model, and I didn't know that on the tags that you give the people at the register to get that product, there's actually numbers on there, and there could be different models from different manufacturers, and I didn't know that. Nobody ever told me that. I mean, I had been buying stuff at Harbor Freight for years. So let's go over both models. I've got both shop manuals here. The funny thing is, on the picture on these manuals, if you can see them, it's the exact same picture. It's the model on my left, right over here. It's the same picture. So when I got home and I opened, I saw this, I'm like, well, why didn't this have this big handle? Why weren't those extra supports down here? And I couldn't understand. I'm like, well, maybe they forgot something. Maybe it was a quality control issue. I don't know. So here's the one for the one that I wanted, which is it's the same manual. I mean, they tried to tell me when I went into not Home Depot, but Harbor Freight, that those numbers mean that they were made by different manufacturers. Well, as you can clearly see on the presses, they're made by the same central machinery company that has the stickers on it. So I don't know how that holds up, that they're made by different manufacturers. But anyway, let's take a look at the differences, and I'll give you both model numbers. So that way, if you go into Harbor Freight and you're looking at one model number, make sure that you want the model number that you want, not the one that they have on the floor, because there are some significant differences in these two model numbers. So let's take a look at both of those. Okay, so this is the one here that I actually took home, but this is the one that they had on display. This is the one I thought I was getting. So you can see if you come up here, item number 33497 and item number 60604. Both those numbers are on the tickets that you bring up to the register. Now, I didn't know that there was a difference between those. I saw this on the floor, figured I was getting this one. I got home, it's this one. In fact, here's a clip out of the video that I already made about what I thought about this thing here. So this is it. I'm not really sure I kind of like the way this kind of just sits on here, as long as you maintain tension up in this neck up here. Okay, so if you look, you can kind of see that there's differences. They're both the same height. They're both, there's my deal by the tape measure. I think they're 53.5 is what I measured. So they're both about 53.5. This one over here is wider. It's about an inch wider. Let me measure this one. So this one is 19, a little bit more than 19.5. And this one is about 20.5. So this one's about an inch wider. Now you can also see on this piece here that comes down, that actually does the pressing, this is like 2.5 inches. This one over here is more like 6 inches. So that's like 6. This one is, well, we'll say 2 3/4. The springs on this one are longer, although these seem like they're a little thicker. The biggest difference is the handle. If you look at this one here, it has a pretty decent, size handle, and it does lock in, so you can lock it in. The only thing I wish about this one is it had some kind of holder that you could put the handle up, so you could lock the handle in somewhere. On this one over here, it's just got this, cheap little handle. It doesn't want to stay in half the time. The biggest difference is, and you can see it on here, what I just showed you, is that this thing just kind of sits there freely. There's nothing to hold it in. This one here is anchored to a welded plate that's on here. So this is not going to move. This one here, if you didn't have enough tension on it, you could, technically just knock this off on the floor. Now there are some differences in these. These are the pieces that you put down when you're going to press stuff. And this one, on this one here, they are a little bit smaller. You can see the difference in them. And they're also a little bit thinner. I don't know if that's a big consideration for anything. The top up here, you can see is one piece welded at the top. Up here you can see, let me take this off and you can see it. Up here you can kind of see it's open up here. I'm not sure why they felt the need to beat the top of this with something, but you know, it is what it is. But this is like one whole piece that's welded. This is one whole piece too, but it's welded in the middle. These springs are actually, you know, tied into pieces that are welded on the top, which I do like better than these tabs that are just welded on the top to hold the springs. Now these springs are adjustable. You can adjust these. I have this, you know, maybe an inch on the bottom here. These nuts here are right at the bottom of the screw. So you can see the difference on the supports down here. These have these angle irons that tie into the side pieces. This has none. The one thing I wish they did do was bring these side pieces all the way down to this base. Be a little bit more stable if it was actually resting on the base. But it is pretty stable. I think both of them are kind of stable, but it's this piece here that, you know, definitely moves. There's also 7 positions on here, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On this one you have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it actually goes down. You can see it goes down, to, you know, down here. But you could always drill a hole in there if you needed to put, you know, to move this down. But so those are the kind of the differences in both of these. Same price, no difference in the price. They're both $169. I think the warranty was $24. I got it for 2 years. Because once I'm done with both of these bikes and, you know, pressing the cams in and out, this is going upstairs in the second floor because I really don't have a need for it. But this one is actually going to go back tomorrow. I already talked to the Harbor Freight that I bought this one from. I had to go to another Harbor Freight to get this one. So, just remember this one here, 33479, 33497, sorry. This is the one that doesn't attach to the base. And this one is 60604. And this one has the anchored plate for it. So, all right. So that's that's going to wrap it up for this video, I think. I did get the heads and cylinders back from the machine shop. I actually had to go down and get. Actually, let me show you. While I was at Harbor Freight today talking about that press, I had to buy a piston ring compressor because the one I had that I used for the panhead wouldn't fit on that. I don't know why, but it wouldn't fit on it. So I actually got this, but I actually had to cut this much off the bottom because this is a 4-inch, and I didn't have. You don't have 4 inches of clearance on the bottom of the piston. So we're going to see how well this works because I'm going to be putting the cylinders back on this week. I'm still waiting for the head bolts. I ordered those, I think Friday. Today's Sunday, the 26th, so I ordered them Friday. So I'll be here in a couple days, but not in any hurry because I still got to do the cam tensioners, which is the whole reason for buying this press. So, all right, don't forget to subscribe. Leave me some comments below. What do you think of these presses? Did you get one of these, and did you, make the same mistake I did of not knowing what those numbers were on the bottom? Like I said, that one that's over here is going back tomorrow. And I'll keep the other one that's a little bit more sturdy. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.